What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 63 of Pub Sports Talk. Got the whole crew with us, minus Slate. He's still at football practice, putting in that grind, putting in that work to try to go to the state championship game. Golly, boys. 4 in a row. Could you imagine? Like Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen down there. Woo! You know what I'm saying? But shout out to East Surrey and those boys getting that work in. Keep doing your thing. But with us tonight, we got Fitz, Tim, Matt, and our young producer, Wes. You heard him on last week's episode. He did a phenomenal job, so he's be talking for us during this episode as well. NBA heavy guy, but he's got it covered for us. But this week, let's start off with the USA. Sorry, Matt. Sorry, bud. USA gets another dub here. Another win in the chat for us. Gold medals, 39. Total medal count, check. We've got everybody beat, and it took the last night of competition. Fitz, you're our Olympic guy. Lay it down for us.
Yeah, I mean, U.S. they performed. I don't think anybody's surprised by it. I'm repping my U.S. basketball after trashing them the entire Olympics, but they pulled through, both men and women. And then also, I just want to highlight track and field. We saw Allison Felix become not only the most decorated female, the most decorated American, and she's now second on the all-time medal count. That she's got 11 medals, just trailing behind some Finnish dude from the 1920s. So it's pretty phenomenal watching her race. She got the bronze in the 400 meter and gold on that 4x4 relay, which just put on a performance. So yeah, U.S. they look good. They look real good.
Look real good. How long has she been doing this? Is this her last Olympics?
This is her last. Yeah, it's her last run. She had a baby before this Olympics, and there was actually like a viral video. Sorry to be too graphic, but or not video, but she posted like a picture of her C-section as a way to show what she's been through. I think her first medal. I think she was 16 when she was running, and really her best event was probably the 200 meters. But this Olympics, she didn't qualify for that. She's lost some speed over the years, but it's pretty cool that she's been able to kind of convert to the 400 meter, which isn't very common. Michael Johnson, who was, he was the most decorated American before Allison Felix with 10 medals. He was really a rare blend of being able to run the 200 meter and the 400 meter. It's really different running. Usain Bolt, he ran the 400 meter when he was 17, but then had the focus primarily on 100 and 200 meter. He didn't quite have the closing speed, which is kind of weird. Like when you think of like someone like Usain Bolt, it's like, oh, like why wouldn't 400 meters be just as easy? Like just hold it longer, but it's just a different pace. And Bolt just has to go all out and do the damage at the end. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see how she's able to convert and change over like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that Nike deal, which you kind of alluded to earlier, I mean, she lost her Nike endorsement. She lost a lot of things. And for her to come back and have this amazing career that she had and still being a mom, still rocking it out, love to see it. What else you got for us Olympic-wise?
Yeah, so I think Felix was probably like the most it was probably like a career milestone in this Olympics. Is like she stands out just as kind of like the featured storied athlete. But I think the athlete of the Olympics, and I'd be curious to hear other people's thoughts, but I think the athlete of this Olympics has to be the 14-year-old Quan Hongchan from China. She had 3 perfect dives in the 10-meter diving, and she beat a new mark of all 6 of her dives added up to 466.20, beating the previous record, shattering the previous record, which was 447, which is just nuts. And like watching the diving, like it was almost, I had like a reaction like watching a dunk contest. Like there was one dive, she like did a handstand and like she stands on her hands, and it's like all dramatic, it's all suspenseful. And then she does all the twists and turns, lands it. And the reaction was kind of like a whoa, like, you know, like I can't believe I just saw that. So, I mean, if you didn't catch it, just look it up on YouTube. Pretty sure NBC Sports has all 6 of her dives, but 3 perfect dives. And you literally know nothing about diving, but you watch it and you go, wow, like I've never seen someone do it that effortless. And just crazy. 14 years old.
You said 14?
14 years old.
That's crazy.
So, like, I'm even curious, like, you know, this is, you know, how long can she continue to do that? Like, do that? Is it like a Simone Biles situation? Like, she's going to be in the Olympics year after year? You would hope so. You know, and Paris 2024 is not that far.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. And we talked about it in episode 62. This is the Olympics for young people. I mean, you have had a 13-year-old win the skateboarding gold, this 14-year-old woman winning diving. Like, it's amazing to see what these young people are doing. Olympics are looking real stacked next couple of years here.
Yeah, and the next Olympics is actually in less than a year. It'll be right before the Super Bowl, which is crazy. Like, we'll have the opening ceremonies. I think that's Pro Bowl weekend. We have the opening ceremonies, and then we have a Sunday right in the middle of it, and that's Super Bowl Sunday. So just crazy. I mean, that 1 year pushback because of COVID. Now we get to double dip in Olympics, which is kind of nice.
I mean, nobody watches Pro Bowl anyways, and now you had the Olympics on top of it. Like, it's done. Dead.
That's true. The only one more event I want to highlight just from this past week was the men's 1,500 meter or men's mile. And it was an Olympic record, which is very rare for the Olympics. We talked about in our past 2 episodes how distance running in the Olympics, you don't use rabbits. They tend to go out slower and run more tactical. But it was Timothy Cherio just took off like from the start. He just took the lead. And the guy who ended up winning from Norway, Jacob Ingebrigtsen, just kind of hung on the entire race. Like he just hung on this dude's shoulder and then made his move and just burned him. I mean, like, I couldn't believe it's like you set the Olympic record and the guy was already going at a fast pace and the guy just flew by him. He's just drafting the entire race, flew by him, looked like he had more in the tank. You know, I was even curious, man, like that could have been a world record maybe, like if you had broken earlier. But just really incredible race and really made Cole Hocker look slow, who was an American, you know, favored to be up there. A lot of people were keeping their eyes on him, and he just couldn't keep up. It's just too fast.
Yeah,
he breaks late. You know, there's a lot of guys like that. They got a good kick, and they were hoping to go out slow, but you know, it's like, yeah, just go out there and take it. You know, so Cherio is smart on his part. You know, don't let these kickers hang around. But he couldn't get rid of that Norway guy, and it was just really, really incredible race. That's another one to check out.
Yeah, Josh Abersher, we had him on episode 61. He talked really highly of him, and just, I mean, sometimes it's just the guy's faster than you. He's just better. He's got a better kick, like you said. That's exactly what happened. Wes, do you have the Olympic medal count pulled up for us? Can you go ahead?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, yeah, listeners, I know you can't see this, but people on YouTube, you can see it. Those medal counts are solid. And if you look at the total medal count, we blew everybody away. But with the Olympics and really any tournament, what matters is those gold medals. And it took us to the very last event to beat China. We were tied with them. What was that last event, Fitz?
Oh, man.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's a good question. I thought men's marathon, but that's not it. Man, I really don't know. I have to look it up. Do a deep dive.
I want to say
random.
Women's.
Could be a relay. I don't know if it's track and field though. I want to say it could have been 4x4, but I do not.
Oh, I tell you what it was. It was a women's basketball team and a women's volleyball team that put on for us. We were down a medal going the last 8. It was 36-38.
Okay.
So that was huge for us.
Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi pulling through.
Yeah, and then Jennifer Valentine won the Olympics for track cycling, which, Matt, you're a big track guy or track cycling guy. You said you could gold medal in it, not to put any pressure on you.
Yeah, she got a gold medal in Omnium, which was a bit of a surprise because Laura Kenny was the absolute favourite to win that. But she had a massive crash in the first event, so she only picked up silver.
Yeah. Let's move into a sport that most of the world cares about. Sorry, not to dish on cycling there. But let's just move into it. Basketball. We have to eat our words here at the pub. For 3 weeks in a row, we just dumped on U.S. men's basketball. We're dead, done. Put them through a table. We're out of here. Now, all of a sudden, we got a gold medal. We beat France. We beat Australia, 2 teams that beat us in exhibition matches. I apologize to U.S. basketball, but I still think we could have had a better team out there.
We easily could have had a better team, yeah. You mean like the people that were there played better?
Both, honestly.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. I saw a thing, a speculation of how different the ball is that people were complaining. They say that's why like these superstars are missing so much because the ball is that drastically different. I don't
basketball's a basketball. Yeah. I don't get that. Not at all.
I did see one thing though is I didn't watch many games because they were so late at night. Was one thing I saw was players like were trying to jump into others and draw fouls, and in FIBA the refs were like, no, we're not giving you those.
Yeah, like and these are the refs of the NBA 1980s.
Yeah.
Like you throw a forearm in the nose, you're good.
They actually had to play. Yeah.
Exactly. They actually had to play. You're absolutely right.
I wonder how much of this is attributed to Pop. Because, I know we had players coming in late and we didn't have a lot of practice, but the team, towards the end, we adapted pretty well and made some good changes. And I think, I can't speak for any other country's coach because I don't know him, but I know Pop and he's so good at making adjustments. And I think, the players, we could have had a better team out there, better players, however you want to spin it. But I think the difference came down to Pop and understanding, how to switch up the schemes according to how the players were playing. So just my 2 cents.
No, I think you're right. I mean, we've had Coach K for so long, and Coach K was very much like Coach Daly was during the Dream Team. And then all of a sudden you switch the script on them, and now it's a different style of play than what we're used to.
For sure.
I like the video of Pop dancing after they got the gold.
I didn't see that.
If you guys didn't get to check that out.
That's awesome. I would pay money to see Pop dance. I'm glad I don't have to.
He was doing like a little defensive slide drill. It was funny.
Hell yeah, I'm here for that. Let's just move into it. Luka, we said, hey, this guy's probably going to win a gold medal. Like, he's been undefeated international play. He's carrying his country on his back here. He falls short. They lose 2 games in a row. I still think the future is extremely bright for Luka, and so does the Dallas Mavericks. They signed him for a 5-year extension, $207 million. Incredible. This is the amount of payment. And he's only, how old is he? 20, 21, 22?
22, I think.
Dude, you give me $207 million now, much less when I was 22. Mistakes. Mistakes were made.
The big thing about this is because it says right here he's the first player to ever get this, which that's insane.
I mean, that's
incredible.
incredible.
Think about all the great players that have come through the NBA, and then this random foreign guy who a lot of people didn't even know about until it was draft time comes and is about to take over the league.
No, you're exactly right. I don't remember Luka's name being brought up minus draft night. I'm like, all right, another European. We'll see how he does. Bam.
Yeah, exactly.
He's on the scene. And, I mean, you're right. We haven't seen these types of numbers ever, and much less to an international player. We've talked about this for weeks and weeks and weeks. The international game has gotten so strong, and this is just another proof of it, that he's just dominant.
So the question is, can they get it done?
Can the Mavs get it done?
Yeah, like they're all in on Luka. Like, are they going to be able to build around him to actually make a deep run to the playoffs, or is this just like, yeah, it's a good show and Luka's awesome and he's fun to watch, but at the end of the day, does it get the Mavs a championship or nah?
I think that if this is any other 20 other organizations, no, you just wasted your money. Like he's going to be there. He's going to be an all-star. Sure, he'll get fans in the seats. He won't win a championship. But the Mavericks are used to it. I mean, them and the Spurs kind of went international and brought home championships. They put all their baskets or all their eggs in their basket with Dirk, the German, right? I think they see another Dirk 2.0 here with Luka. Obviously, a little different type of position, different type of skill set. But Luka, you can build a team around, and you just need role players with him. You have your superstar. Get guys coming off the bench, guys who can hit threes, guys who can post up. Luka will do the rest. He'll facilitate the game for you. Let's go to work here. I think the Mavs can get a championship.
And guys are going to want to come play with Luka because he will pass you the ball. He's not just going to be a ball hog. Luka's a guy. He's a likable guy from his character. But then on the court, he also doesn't have a problem dishing out assists. So I think guys, not maybe another superstar, but solid players, borderline all-stars will definitely want to come play with Luka in Dallas.
Well, I wonder, right now who they have. They got Porzingis, and it doesn't seem like it's the best fit for Luka. Like my question is, would Luka benefit from like a backcourt duo, like someone else, like almost like a CP3 and Devin Booker, or would Luka benefit from a big, from someone that he can just kind of lob it to and play pick and roll basketball? Like which one of those do you see?
I think the big would be better because Porzingis, if you watch this past season, like it doesn't make any sense for guys half his size to be out rebounding him. He's 7'3", and he loves to play on the perimeter. And there's just games where he would just disappear, especially in the playoffs. So I think they needed to, while he still has value, trade him for, like we said, he doesn't have to be an all-star or a superstar center, but just somebody athletic enough to just set Luka hard screens and everybody else get in the corner and on the wing, get ready for three, and Luka just run the pick and roll and either floater or lob. But I think Porzingis has to leave before they get to that next step. I don't think Porzingis is going to be the answer for them.
It's kind of refreshing to we've talked about how the NBA, they really put the players first, and whereas like the NFL, you have the shield or whatever. It's kind of nice to see these teams, like we see it with Giannis in Milwaukee, and now we're seeing it with Luka and Mavs. Like some of these teams are really keeping their talent kind of in-house. And, I hate if the day comes that, they leave for whatever reason. I guess, Parker, you may not have thought that LeBron was going to leave the Cavs. It might be the same deal where, one day they do leave. But it's kind of nice. It reminds me of like Ovi at the Caps when he finally won the Stanley Cup. And it's like, man, he stayed there through thick and thin, and he finally got it. Now, Giannis, Ovi did it many more years. But it was nice to see Giannis do that. Like, I'm hoping that Luka does the same, because it might encourage, I find it hard now in the NBA to root for a team. It's a lot about the players, and I kind of miss that feeling of like, yeah, like Luka's staying with the Mavs, like let's go Mavs. I don't know. It could just be me, but those are my thoughts on it.
No, I agree, Tim. Like, and I think Wes brought up last week is thinking of the Jazz and Donovan Mitchell can kind of be that MVP caliber. He's not going anywhere. He's staying put. And I feel like it's like, all right, the Jazz are due. Like they're the next team because they've had those pieces like Gobert and Joe Ingles of all people. And they acquire Conley, and it's not like building a super team. It's like, oh, they added Mike Conley to the Jazz, and it's a different feeling. It's not like them going, okay, well, who can we all bring together? It's just, who's going to actually just give us, be another piece to give us a chance to win it.
Just all build it up from the ground up.
Yeah.
No, I think another thing, speaking about that as well, I think the younger players don't want to leave too, is because of the one and dones. And you got these kids getting drafted at 18 and stuff. So a lot of them haven't really lived out by themselves. So when you get picked to a smaller franchise, yeah, you're a millionaire. But like with Donovan Mitchell in Utah, I can't speak for him, but I would assume since he was so young that he probably hadn't left wherever his hometown was besides college. So he gets to Utah, and he's the next big thing. The whole town, city loves him. So I think that's one reason we're seeing a lot of NBA players like Giannis and, like you said, now Luka and them wanting to stay, because Giannis never come to the U.S. before, gets to Milwaukee. That's all he knows. You know, Giannis hasn't lived in the LAs and Miamis and all this and that. He may vacation, but I think that's one reason we're seeing a lot of the young talent stay wherever they first arrive.
That's a great point. You know, these guys haven't traveled much in their life, and all of a sudden now they're here, and they're used to it. You know, they're used to Dallas. They're used to Milwaukee, which are small markets. No, you're absolutely right. I love that take. I mean, I'm shout out to Luka. I'm glad he got paid. He deserves it. And Tim, you're absolutely right. Like, we don't see enough homegrown talent get drafted from an organization and stay with that organization to win a championship. And you love to see it. Absolutely. Makes the good old heart warm there. So what makes your heart warm, boys? And Wes, you might have to pull up this graphic here. Raise
which one?
Energy. Gotta love it. Gets the heart rate bumping, but not too much. You're not going to crash. 0 sugar, 0 calories, 0 crash. World's best energy drink. Use code PUB to get 15% off all their products online. You can go to Rep Sports, REPP sports.com. We got to put our plugs in there. YouTube, podcast, doesn't matter. We've got to put those plugs in there. And they're all products we believe in. Me and Tim have sampled multiple flavors. I love them. Tim, speak to the people here.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll tell you, it gives you some clean energy. So if you need a little pick-me-up, this place to get it. Raise Energy.
That's right.
We don't have the info, but we got this.
There we go. We'll have a graphic for next week. Don't worry. But they got all types of flavors. They just came out with a rainbow flavor. It tastes like Skittles. I'm a big Skittle guy. Marshawn Lynch is a big Skittle guy. Put 2 and 2 together.
Be like Marshawn.
Yeah, that's right. Be like Marshawn. Be a beast mode. Let's go. But great products. Use our code PUB to get 15% off. You don't want to miss it. Let's go ahead and move into it. Football, NFL preseason, kicking off around us. Let's get into it. We've got fantasy football for our listeners. We are teaming up with 4-Score Sports. Shout out to those boys. They're doing big things over there. We've had them on. We've been on their podcast. I can't wait to see how the future holds for them. But we're teaming up to do a fantasy football league. We're going to have 4-Score Sports League, Pub Sports Talk League, champion versus champion. Open to all listeners. It's a $5 buy-in. First place gets the entire pot. We or 4-Score Sports, we don't get anything off the top of it. We're not skimming off of it. All that money goes to that first place winner. So, hey, make this league as big as you want. You want to have a 32-team league? Let's do this thing. Let's get it done. Second place gets a prize pack for CBD oil, Raise Energy, some merchandise. We're going to supply it. So is 4-Score Sports. I think they got some extra merchandise they're going to throw in there as well. But DM us. Go to our Instagram, Pub Sports Talk. Text us. Whatever you need to do. Hit us up on YouTube. Join that league. Let's make it big. We're going to draft in 3 weeks. Twitter. Thank you, Wes. Yep, we got our Twitter. We're going to draft that week 4 preseason. Okay. Let's go ahead and move in to NFL here. Melvin Ingram, a staple for the Chargers, a defensive force, one of the elite defensive players. Yes, the Watts get a lot of exposure, but Ingram has been explosive on defense. He is now a Pittsburgh Steelers. Wes, I know you're happy about that. Big Steelers fan.
Oh, yeah. The thing I'm most excited for is him, not him coming in and helping right away, but him in training camp and before the season really starts, pushing our second-year player, Alex Highsmith, out of the University of Charlotte, shout out North Carolina, really pushing him to become better.
Really?
That's the thing I'm most excited for. Because all through camp and stuff, they've been saying Highsmith has been busting butt. And, I mean, he realized he's a second-year player, and you got this dude who's been, Pro Bowler several times coming in. And, the young buck's not going to step down and say, oh, yeah, he can have my spot. They say he's really stepping up and saying, he's going to have to earn it from me.
That's awesome.
So I really like that.
And a guy like Ingram, he brings that veteran force into a locker room. And yeah, you have Big Ben. You got some guys who have been there before, but a lot of young talent on that roster. Chase Claypool, Juju. I mean, they're still young, even though they produce. And he's going to bring some more wisdom to that locker room. And you're right, he's going to elevate everybody's game. I think the Chargers take a big blow losing him. But,
yeah,
I mean, Pittsburgh, shout out to you guys. You get it done. Me being a Bengals fan, Devin being a Ravens fan, we're a little pissed about it, but it is what it is.
I saw one thing, too, just to butt in. We were very, very close to getting Justin Houston, but he decided to go to the Ravens, I'm pretty sure, for less money because he thought they had a better chance at contending. And I don't like that.
Houston?
Yeah,
they got to figure out Deshaun Watson down there. Yeah, Deshaun just practiced, but how long is he going to be eligible for? I mean, all these accusations against him, not saying he's guilty, but it's not looking good for the cat down there. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's scary.
And we asked Twitter, I said, hey, where's he playing this next season? Houston, Carolina, Denver, or other? Other probably meaning the house. 79% said other. They don't think he's going to play this year, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
One name to keep an eye out on is James Washington of the Steelers. I think he requested a trade. And, the Steelers, they have some really good receiver depth. And I don't blame Washington for kind of just being upfront about it. I think he's a great talent. And I think, fingers crossed, I hope Detroit signs him. But I think whoever gets him is they're going to get a really good receiver because Washington had some highlights last season, and he didn't get enough play time because the Steelers' wideout core is so deep. So, if you're trying to go to the Super Bowl, Washington, shout out to my Lions. Let's go.
Yeah,
he's like a kneecap.
He's like fourth fiddle to Juju, and then Claypool. He had a sick grab against the Cowboys last week, and I think last season he really was kind of the rookie. You're like, whoa, like this guy could be something. And then Deontay Johnson, and you're right. It's like, oh, who's James Washington? It's like, who's this guy? So yeah, good call, Tim. I'd be interested to see where he ends up.
But that's a weird situation because 2 days ago, whichever the day after the Hall of Fame game, Mike Tomlin had a press conference, and all the reports are coming out saying he requested a trade. But Mike Tomlin said he hasn't requested a trade. Now, Mike Tomlin does kind of like to be mysterious and beat around the bush. So I don't know. That's a weird situation. But if he did request a trade, I don't blame him. The same way, he's very, very talented, and he kind of just gets wasted on the sideline in our games. So we'll see. If he does leave, I'll be rooting for him because I like him a lot.
Well, the Steelers are interesting because, last season they just lacked a run game, and their defense was so sound. I think their schedule was fairly easy, especially in the first half. They were undefeated, but it was kind of like, okay, who have they played? But I think with Najee Harris now, you look at that receiving core. Now you add Ingram to an already really good defense. If I'm in that division, Steelers are kind of closing the door. I think it's if Ben can stay healthy now. I think it's now on that, and if he's out,
that's all up to the
if he's out, you don't feel good about Mason Rudolph. So it's interesting.
Dwayne Haskins said it last week.
Dwayne Haskins, maybe.
I mean, he didn't look too good either, but Dobbs looked good. Now, yeah, he's going against third string guys, but Dobbs looked pretty good. Guy's a rocket scientist too.
Yeah,
wicked smart. We talked about getting paid in the NBA. Let's go ahead and talk about a young man that got paid. And I'm a big fan. Bills Mafia, stand up with me. Put the league through the table. Let's go. Josh Allen, baby. 6 years, $258 million. Get this, $150 million guaranteed. Hey, he's a young man from Wyoming. Small town ball, doing big time things down in Buffalo. I'm here for you. Let's go, Bills Mafia. Let's stand up for him. I know you're excited. I'm excited for this signing. I think Josh Allen's got a lot of talent. Yes, he has Stephon Diggs. He's got a great offensive line. But that dude can sling a ball a mile. How do we feel about this?
I love it. I said coming out of college that he was going to be the best QB in that draft class, and Patrick Mahomes was in that draft class. So I may have been wrong, but I'll bet on him being the second best. But I like Josh Allen a lot coming out of Wyoming. Mainly, I think that was because me being a Steelers fan, he looked a lot like a young Big Ben, big arm, sneaky, athletic, more athletic than Ben was. But back in the day, if he needed to run, he could get 2 steps. But I like Josh Allen a lot, and I'm excited for it. I think he's a future MVP.
Yeah.
Maybe not this coming season, but soon.
I'm sold on him. Like, honestly, just the amount of production he's done, I think he's worth every cent. And we had, once again, put it on Twitter. Go follow us, Pub Sports Talk on Twitter. Put that poll out there. Nobody said he's not worth a penny, that he is worth every cent of that deal. I think all of Buffalo believes in this young man.
I've been impressed with his progression because I was definitely skeptical when he came into the league. You know, we talked about him here, arm candy. You know, is he just – he just shoots it. But I think watching him, it was probably one of it was like a Sunday night game this past season. It was early in the year. But he was just throwing these quick, like 5-10 yard passes. And I was just like, I was very impressed by watching his growth in that element this year. Is just kind of those short dink and dunk, along with the big play. Of course, you're going to have, Stephon Diggs. Like, of course, you're going to have those big plays. But that's the other thing that I think Diggs also helps him, because Diggs is so good at just getting open underneath and having those short routes too. Again, he's a big play guy. So it's really, I think those two really do complement each other. So, I'd love to see those two, to continue to play together. Because I think when it's all said and done, we're talking Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think we'd be talking about Allen and Diggs as like one of the greatest combinations we've ever seen. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that's what I've seen just in one season of them together, because they both have that big playability, but they've really made their name by working on that short stuff and just really, I don't know, just being all around better than everybody else.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I can't think of a better duo in the NFL. All right, maybe Mahomes and Hill. But other than that, I can't think of another quarterback wide receiver duo that could have the impact that they do. I mean, okay, maybe Wilson and Metcalf, maybe the more I think about it. But I'm with you. I think that duo has really big – the ceiling's so high for these cats. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do.
I think Josh Allen has a lot of growing up to do. I think it was the he reminds me of just a big old baby.
Oh my gosh.
Like, so I think it was I think they were playing the Chargers last year, and it was a close game. Like, I think Buffalo had to come back in the fourth quarter late or something happened. And I was watching it, and he reminds me of a lot of Aaron Rodgers when he first started. He was so whiny. Oh my gosh. He would go, he would throw the ball and something would happen, and you would either see it on his face. He would start complaining to the ref, and everything was just like, dude, just get in the huddle and get the next play going. Like, it was so frustrating to watch. Like, I think he's a great talent, but he has some maturing to do because he is a baby. Like, grow up, man. Like, really. Like, I'm calling you out.
You don't know Tim. He's the biggest troll. So
no, really. Like, I think he like, this is trolling aside. He needs some growing up to do because he is a big baby. And like, until he actually grows up, like I don't care how great Diggs is. Like, if you're gonna whine when you're down like that, you're not gonna win. So you better straighten up.
Well, the baby just got paid, so.
Oh, that's great.
He must not be doing a whole lot of whining because he's doing a whole lot of winning.
We'll see now that he has cheddar. What how much whining he actually does now. The thing I compare him to Aaron Rodgers because Aaron did a similar thing when he first started, but Aaron, you could see it. Like, it must have been after when he won the Super Bowl. You could just tell he was a different player, and I think this next year for Allen's going to say a lot. Like, he just got money. Like, are you going to be sitting there complaining to the refs after each play if you're down, or are you going to get the dirt out of your face mask and get back in the huddle and say, all right, let's do this. Like, don't bring that here. I don't want to see it.
I don't see Rodgers as whiny, and I don't see that. I don't see that in Allen as well. I see competitive.
Nope.
I think competitive would be a word. That yes, there are times that Aaron's frustrated, or that Josh Allen, like again, just even touching on Josh Allen's leadership this year, is I think he took a step in that direction too. Is he proved like he is the leader of this football team, which is just a step. I'm waiting for Danny Dimes to do that in New York this year. I'm hoping that dog pile from last week kind of helps that happen. But there, that is even a thing, is like, quarterbacks from, the jump from it's really year 3, I think, is kind of what you're talking about. Like Aaron Rodgers, his 3rd season being the starter was kind of when he became, okay, this is yours now. That I think, I don't see whiny as a character in his leadership. I don't see that. I think he's just competitive. When he misses, he gets upset because he expects a lot.
It's all right. Detroit's not used to competing. It's okay. But I think you're right about the year 3 thing. I'm totally kidding, Tim. I can't talk. I'm a Cincinnati fan, but I'm a year 3 thing. I mean, Rodgers, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. We saw him grow up a lot last year and just kind of blossom to a leader that Cleveland needed. Now, am I saying Cleveland's going to win the division? Am I saying Cleveland's going to make a Super Bowl run? Hell no. But there's a lot of blossoming for that young man, and I'm excited to see what Mayfield does. Let's talk about a crybaby here, Tim. The
Which
Saints and Saints fans. They might be crying here because Michael Thomas might be deucing out the door soon. Him and Coach Payton are not getting along. Front office with Michael Thomas is not getting along here. I mean, a lot of stuff is going on, and everything just looks like Michael Thomas is out that door. They've been going back and forth on Twitter. And today, Michael Thomas just tweeted out basically saying, hey, I'm not going to tell my side of the story because I'm more of a man than you are, Coach Payton. I don't know if this ends well for the Saints Nation.
They can't afford to lose him, I don't think. He's like one of the last couple pieces that are holding on. I think with Drew gone too, that might kind of be like, screw it, I don't want to be here anyway.
I mean, he played through an injury because he knew it was Breeze last season. Then he goes and have surgery on it, and now your coach is calling you out for having surgery on it. Like, dude, I don't blame him for being out the door. Yeah, and I think you're right. Yeah. Who else is part of that Saints organization that's like, do I really want to sit here and let my coach belittle someone who went to go get surgery for them? I'm out the door, man.
Exactly.
I mean, truthfully, I don't blame Sean Payton. Like, if at the end of last season or towards the end, like you have a pretty substantial ankle injury, it's going to need some reconstructive surgery. Honestly, it was kind of selfish of him to play with Breeze or try to play. I mean, he was a shadow of himself. Like, it's just not team ball, and I wouldn't blame him for trying to trade him off because that's, at the end of the day, he chose playing with Breeze over the Saints. And I get that it's a business, but I guess I'm siding more with Peyton on this issue.
And see, I see that, but at the same time, like, you're telling me you get to play with a GOAT, with a guy who arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks to put on a jersey, and you don't want to be out there for the final season. I don't know. Like, if Tom Brady was like, hey, this is my final season, I need you out there. Okay, dude. Peyton Manning. Okay, man. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. I'm sold on it. Like, I'm like, all right, fine. I'll get surgery next season. I'm young.
Well, I think it was the quarterback. I think it was the quarterback situation in general. It wasn't just Breeze, old man Breeze playing hurt. Is then they had this, okay, well, we're going to ride Taysom Hill. It's not, we're not going to go with Jameis Winston. We're going to give it to Hill. And like, did Hill throw the ball to Michael Thomas? I just don't know if that offense is where Michael Thomas wants to be. And then it's like, okay, well, then if I end up with Jameis, Jameis's leadership, that's just the total opposite of what we were talking about with Josh Allen. Is this guy is just like, he's got marbles rolling around upstairs. This guy is out of it. And like, so I don't know. Like if you're Michael Thomas, you're at the top of your game. Things are falling apart in New Orleans. I don't blame Michael Thomas. I would want to go to the best team, to the best option available right now. Like we're talking quarterbacks and receivers. He's trying to find his QB. He's trying to find his guy that he can have. And it don't exist in New Orleans right now. They've put themselves in a weird situation. But I think it could be good for New Orleans because they got Alvin Kamara. Just give the ball to Kamara and make it a run-heavy offense.
My question is, how long is Kamara's contract for? Because I think that's the next name.
The next guy's out.
And you're right. I mean, Winston, all reports are saying he's having a good camp, but everything that's been leaked to the media, not a good camp. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw him going through the bag drill about tripping and just couldn't sustain his running style. His comments, Fitz, you sent that to us.
He said, yeah, we got some of the best backs, one of the best condoms. I mean, tandems in the league. It's
like condoms and tandems, they're not even similar. Like, I think he did that on purpose. He's still very immature.
We eating W's.
Yeah. And just freestyle before the game. I'm not sold on Winston and Hill. I mean, he's had an opportunity to get this job and to win the job for years now, and he hasn't. I don't think there's any faith in Hill either. I don't blame, like you said, I don't blame Michael Thomas for saying, hey, I'm going to the next best thing. I'll take a pay cut. I don't care. I want out, and I want to go win a ring because that's how we judge athletes.
I think it would have been the same thing would have happened if he does get the surgery early, and then Sean Payton's like, oh, he quit on the team. You know what I mean? I think the same thing would have happened, like regardless of the outcome.
I think so too. And Sean Payton, I want to like him, but there's some things he's done. And I was like, I can't like you, dude. Like, there's something about you. Yeah. I just can't put my finger on. You're just not a nice dude.
Yeah, he looks like a rat.
I got a hot take for you guys.
Of course you do.
Jameis Winston will have a better year than Josh Allen.
No.
Yep.
Oh, my Lord.
Yep.
This is 4-1 here, Tim. You are dead wrong.
No, this is the hill I choose to die on.
All right. Well, like Daniel Jones, Vanilla Vic Fitz's hill over there.
Yeah.
You're dying on it.
I like the underdog. Jameis has really scrapped his way back into the situation.
Tim, I got a question for you.
Tell me.
Jameis Winston or Cam Newton? Who has a better season?
Oh, man. My heart says Cam. But he's broken my heart several times already. I'm going Jameis.
Okay. So you're saying Jameis and Cam is closer than Josh Allen?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is like pretty low on my totem pole here.
Tim, you're so full of it.
No, he's a big old baby. He's got a big old golden pacifier. Just sits on there. Wah, wah, wah.
I can't wait to see what you say about Jared Goff.
Yo, he's going to take us to the Super Bowl this year.
All right.
There's our NFL roundup.
Yeah. Let's move into the old heads of NFL here. Peyton Manning has one hell of a Hall of Fame speech. I'm all sold on the sheriff. And people are dubbing him the next NFL commissioner. I don't know why he would. It's not worth the stress. Sure, it's $58 million, whatever it is. I don't know if it's worth it for the headache. He makes enough money. I think he makes $50 million from Papa John's, being Papa John's himself. Like, I wouldn't do it. But if anybody's gonna be an NFL commissioner, I think the best guy for the job, I like Peyton Manning for that job. Broadcaster, quarterback, NFL commissioner. He could do all of it. I'm sold on him. I'm a big Manning fan.
I could see it. I think he's obviously very knowledgeable of the on-the-field stuff, but he seems to carry himself well enough to be able to learn the business side of it as well. He obviously knows enough of it just from being a tenured player for so long, but I think actually being in the office, there'd obviously probably be some hiccups, but I don't think, as likable as he is, nobody would be out to not try and help him.
Yeah,
And
I mean, you're exactly right.
Isn't too prideful to not ask for help.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. All indication when he was in Indy and when he was in Denver, Peyton Manning ran those organizations. Yeah, they had an owner. Yeah, they had a head coach, but Manning did all that stuff. He knows the ins and outs. Like when Manning wanted to restart practice, damn it, we're restarting that practice. When Manning said, hey, go sign this cat, front office went and go sign him. He knows the ins and outs of the league. I think he would be phenomenal at that job.
Yeah, only time will tell. I think he's got it made where he is now with the ESPN deal. I hope that it works out for him. I hope it's not a Booger McFarland. But I think Peyton's he's gonna enjoy where he's at. He has a show on NFL Network. It's Peyton's Places. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. He just goes around the NFL legends and does like a TV show and does their story. And I think he's enjoying where he's at right now. I think if commissioner is going to come up, it's going to be a while. It's going to be like 15, 20 years. But yeah, I think he would be good at it if he wants to do it. But he's sitting pretty nice where he's at.
I don't think he should do it, but he'd be phenomenal if he did it. Tim, let me guess, you would hate him at it.
No, I mean, I think he'd be great, but I mean, there's no way in hell he's going to do it. Like, who would, in his position, who would willingly say, yes, give me all the stress with an older age? Like, it'd be cool, but there's no way. I would love to hear him, in the booth, but I think that's as far as he's going to get, or he would choose to get.
Yeah. Matt, across the pond, how do you feel about it?
He's just a well-respected guy. Like, he comes off very well. He's just a great guy, isn't he? Like, we've all said he'd be amazing at it, and he would be. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. You should give it a go. Why not? Why the hell not? Why the hell not? It'd be way more liked. It'd be instantly more liked than the current commission, really. So,
yeah.
That's true. And here's a hot take. I actually like Roger Goodell. I know that might piss off the Barstool accounts we're associated with. I don't mind Roger Goodell. I think he's done a lot for the game, a lot of good stuff for the game. Now, I think Peyton Manning could do better, sure, but I'm biased.
Roger's okay.
I just kind of hate on him because everybody does.
Yeah, same, to be fair.
and I get New England hates him. Okay, sure, but he could have really dicked down that organization, but he chose to play the middle route. And then, the rest of the 31 teams hated him for not being harder on New England, but it is what it is.
Wait, you said he could have done what?
You heard me. Let's move in. So he's class of 2021, some phenomenal athletes. We've talked about them in previous episodes. Calvin Johnson, Megatron, right? Troy Polamalu, probably the best bust in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if you guys saw Troy Polamalu's hair.
The hair.
Looks amazing. Peyton Manning. I mean, as I said, these guys could go win 7-on-7 against anybody in every class that he wanted to. But class of 2022 is really what I want to talk about. There's a lot of first-year guys on that ballot that could make some big noise. You've got Andre Johnson, who phenomenal wide receiver, also can throw one hell of an uppercut. If you know, you know. And a guy that Fitz you really want to talk about and kind of go in a debate here about it, Devin Hester.
Yeah, Devin Hester. So the big question is just kick returners or specialists or punt returners in the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of guys who have gotten snubbed in their history if they are primarily a return specialist. Like, obviously, there's guys like Deion Sanders and Gale Sayers and Tim Brown, guys who are kick returners and good at it. Charles Woodson, who just was inducted, but that's not their primary position. And with Hester, it didn't work out at receiver. It didn't work out at corner, but he was just a really good kick and punt returner and arguably the best ever. So these are the accolades that Devin Hester has. And I'm lifting this up because he may not be a first ballot. And my question is, should Devin be a first ballot Hall of Famer? So these are his accolades. These are his NFL records. Devin Hester has the most combined special teams return touchdowns, which includes 14 punt returns, 5 kickoffs, and a missed field goal that he took for a touchdown. He has the most non-offensive touchdowns of his career. I guess that's just another way to say it. Most kickoff and punt return touchdowns with 19. I think he beat Deion Sanders for that one. When he was a Falcon, he took one to the house and finally got past Deion. His most punt return touchdowns in his career with 14. It's the most punt return touchdowns in a season. I'm scrolling through some of these, and he has the fastest touchdown in Super Bowl history with 14 seconds, and just beast of a kick returner.
And he also had probably the most electric opening kickoff we've ever seen in a Super Bowl. I mean, he takes it to the house. The opening kickoff. We haven't seen that before. When you think returners, you think Devin Hester. In my book, first ballot, automatic, you put him in there. Yeah, he didn't do a lot of things on the other sides of the ball, but he would change a game with special teams alone, and that's key.
And there's some other great guys, like Brian Mitchell was probably the greatest kick returner before Devin Hester. Josh Cribbs is in the conversation of one of the best kick returners. Percy Harvin's a good one. Cordero Patterson is a good one. But Devin Hester just changed games. He changed games. And this is coming from an NFC North guy. This is coming from a Packers fan. I mean, when he stepped on a field, he would he'd shift the field. He just changed everything. And I'm really curious with some of his numbers. I think he had lower numbers than some guys, like as far as like all-time returns and all-time yards. It's because people kicked the ball out of bounds. People didn't kick to him. So like where they say, oh, well, he doesn't have Brian Mitchell's all-time return yards. Oh, he doesn't have – it's like, you know, I'd be curious just how do you measure his impact? Because I don't know if you can look at just the numbers and say like Devin Hester was the first return I'd seen where it's like kick it out of bounds. Do not kick to this guy. You know,
take the penalty. Don't kick to this cat.
Yeah. I mean, like he was just phenomenal. Best kick returner I think we'll ever see. And I think with the rule changes, I don't think we'll see another Devin Hester again. I mean, like what he did in his time, no one's ever going to do. 19 return touchdowns, 20 if you count that missed field goal, which that was still one of the craziest plays I'd ever seen. Just standing back under the goalpost and take it to the house.
I think he should get in just because if the Pro Bowl votes for return specialist, and even on all teams' depth charts, they have the position of return, punt, and kick return specialist. So I don't see why the Hall of Fame shouldn't be allowed to have that. Or not allowed, but not allow people in listed as that.
No, I think you're absolutely right. Let's move on from Devin Hester unless anybody else got any thoughts on him real quick. Let's just go through some of these names. I mean, I would hate to be on this committee to pick the guys who are going to be on this because there's so many great names and great talent. All right. You've got Zach Thomas, linebacker from Miami, who put on one hell of a show, had over 1,700 tackles. Darren Woodson, safety from Cowboys. DeMarcus Ware, who had one hell of a career in Dallas and then also in Denver, kind of helped Manning get his ring. Hines Ward. Wes, I know you loving that one. Andre Johnson, we were talking about. Jared Allen, another NFC North GOAT. Willie Anderson, great offensive tackle. Played for my Bungles. I would love to see it, but that's a little biased. I don't think he's first ballot, but we'll see. Cornerback, Asante Samuel.
Oh, wow.
Really forgotten name in there. And then wide receiver Steve Tasker from Buffalo Bills. He's not a first ballot type of guy, but he's still up in consideration. Tasker was part of the how do I want to say this? the Buffalo departure for
Four Super Bowls.
Yeah.
4 Super Bowl losses, sorry.
Back to back.
Which is hard to do. Yeah, I actually think they have a senior. I think they have to nominate a senior player now. Like, I think they have to. I think that's in the stipulation.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, someone who is not just a first ballot.
I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, a lot of receivers. Is Steve Smith eligible?
Oh, Steve Smith, Agent 89. He is eligible. You're absolutely right.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of receivers there.
Yeah, wide receiver heavy Hall of Fame class, but I mean, I think the numbers kind of speak for themselves.
Who would you rather have? Andre Johnson, Anquan Bolden, Hines Ward, or Steve Smith?
Hines Ward.
Just real quick. I'm taking Steve Smith all day.
I like the way Steve played, but I think impact. Damn, this hurts. Hines Ward.
Damn.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's a good
That's
choice.
a tough call.
Hines Ward was one of the best blocking receivers in NFL history.
I'm going to give it to Steve. I think Steve.
I think Steve too. He had terrible quarterbacks.
He had really bad quarterbacks, but he was also always a threat, and he had huge plays that got the Panthers in games that they should have been way out of.
That's true, and he did the same thing with the Ravens.
Yeah. Ice up, son.
All right, that's it for NFL talk. Anything else you guys want to go into? I mean, we could speak all day about these guys' accolades and who deserves to be in there, but we've got another year, and that's not our decision to make, so I'm happy.
Yeah, the only thing is preseason coming up. I think, the things to watch for is obviously Trevor Lawrence. He's expected to make his debut with the Jaguars. They're playing against Cleveland. And then the other one would be Miami versus Chicago. It's Fields versus Tua, 2 young quarterbacks. I think that's probably the matchup I'm most interested in to at least watch those early drives and just see, Tua, I feel like he didn't do super well his rookie season. So has he grown up and obviously just, what's Fields capable of?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good one because if we remember toward the end of last season, a lot of locker room stuff's being leaked out about Tua just not being prepared, not being mature enough to take over this role. But he's also had Fitzmagic, in that same quarterback room. So that's a little different. But yeah, I'm excited for these preseason games. Football's back, baby. That's all I care about. We are 3 weeks away from college football returning. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I just can't wait for it, boys.
Speaking on college and NFL, I got a question.
Yeah.
Which one do y'all prefer, NFL or college?
NFL.
Really?
NFL.
NFL's here. College here.
See, I'm with you, Wes. I am college all the way.
With college,
I love
don't care
NFL.
what
Don't get me
teams
wrong.
are playing, I can sit down and watch it no matter what teams are playing. When it's NFL, I want to watch Pittsburgh, and that's about it. There's a few other teams I watch, but college, I don't care who it is. Cut it on, I sit down and watch it. But I think that's part of me loving the draft process so much, and my major, I want to go into scouting and recruiting. So I think that's me loving just watching these raw guys, breaking these guys down, the raw talents, and really examining them and learning, he'd be a good fit for this team, he'd be a good fit for that team. Compared to in the pros, it's man, these guys already got money. We know what we're getting out of them.
No, that's how I feel too, and me being a Bengals fan, I don't get to watch a lot of Bengals games on Sunday unless they're in prime time. And so for me, I'd much if it's not the Bengals, I don't want to watch them. Yeah, go. All right. But college, I can watch any team. Go put Georgia Southern versus USA. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go watch them. Go play UCLA and USC. I'm going to go watch. It doesn't matter.
That's such a lie, though. Because there's so many college games that are just blowouts every week. I could probably count how many college games I watched last season that were actually good. Like, they were actually
Blowouts
good
are
games.
fun though.
But like every week when it's like Sunday Night Football, I'm tuning in. Like, I don't care if it's the Jets versus the Niners or something like that. It's like there's a story. It's like, oh, Zach Wilson's in his Sunday night debut or something. Like, there's always something. Like, there's always something to watch in the NFL, and it's gonna be close. And I think there's closer games, there's better games, better football. College just makes me mad because unless it's like a SEC showdown or something like that, halfway through the season, it's like, okay, well, it's a team that already has 5 losses versus a team that has 4 losses, whatever, or it's just a blowout. It's, Florida's playing against Jacksonville State, and it's like, I don't care.
Right.
But I like the process of, like you said, so that kid from Jacksonville State that's like, dang, that corner, he's made a couple of big-time tackles on these top-dog recruits. And then, come draft time, it's 5th, 6th round, I'm like, oh, I remember watching him that Saturday afternoon. I just like that aspect of it.
Yeah, it's cool, but NFL is way better. That's my opinion.
Play-wise, I agree, but I could watch more college than I could watch NFL. I just feel like they try harder.
I think that's debatable.
I mean, I can see that where someone wouldn't believe in that. I don't want to call it conspiracy theory, but that theory. But I think, especially the small school guys, like for me with Pittsburgh, we have a corner this year. A lot of you guys, maybe Hacky probably hasn't heard of James Pierre. Went to Florida Atlantic. Nobody knew who the guy was, but I loved going back and watching his looks like 1980s like DVR tape because it's such a small school. But now he's really got a chance to be our starter this year. So I just love stories like that, like being able to find these nobodies and being like, yeah, we really found a diamond in the rough.
Hey, FAU does a lot of great recruiting. They get a lot of under-scope talent down there. NC West, I come from the same cloth as you. I love the recruiting, the scouting of these guys, and seeing how they're going to blossom.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Let's move into it. MLB, we got to do it for Slate. We ain't going to do it justice, but we got to do it for Slate. MLB standings.
Got us.
Wes is the man. I mean, things are heating up as we approach October. The Tampa Bay Rays, I don't know where they came from. Obviously, I don't follow baseball, but they are taking over the American League East. Red Sox were so hot, and all of a sudden that fall, Ryan Richardson, shout out to Forest Sports. I can't talk. He predicted that the Red Sox were just going to start dipping and just going down. And he's right. Tampa Bay's kind of running away with it. Chicago White Sox, Cleveland Indians down the Central. Really, the White Sox, it's theirs to lose. They're up 10.5 games. I don't see them losing it.
White Sox got my favorite player.
Who's your favorite player?
Tim Anderson, shortstop.
Okay, why is that?
He just plays with I don't know if it's just where from, but baseball seems to be this like pretty boy, excuse my language, like this douchebag sport, and Tim Anderson brings this like swag to it that I just like he's different. It's almost like, I don't know how to describe it. He's just different, so it just stood out to me. Then I'm like you, I don't really keep up with baseball, but I saw he had the bat flip where he grabbed like the butt of the bat and just slung it, and I was like, I like this guy. So then I started looking at it, and he has like a YouTube channel and stuff. So I've just really gotten into him.
Hey, that's
and
fair.
He had a home run last night.
I respect that. And then in the West, you got Tim, your Astros.
Cheaters.
It hurt the parlay. All right.
Hey, don't hate on my Astros.
I'm hating because they lost us money.
They won our first 2 parlays that should have won, but I'm not going to say who was dropping the team down. But my Astros carried the weight.
Yeah, well, anyways, they're starting to slide a little bit here. They're only up 2 games on the Oakland A's.
They're going to be fine.
Well, I'm pulling for the Angels 10 games back. I'm pulling for them to overcome the Astros. Did you see they unveiled they've got the Angels in the outfield jerseys?
No, I didn't see those.
Yeah, they were wearing the Angels in the outfield. I was like, oh, this is perfect time. 10 games back. They're gonna go on a run, win the pennant, take down Tim's Astros. I think it's gonna happen.
Forget about it.
Let's say Wes is pulling them up for us. I'm pumped for it.
These ones?
Yeah. If you just type in Angels uniforms, there's a picture of Mike Trout that I'm pretty sure just pops up. At least I think.
These ones, maybe?
I think it's like that. Yeah, the one year or the second one. It was the second photo there. I think.
Come on, Wes.
Give her a second. She's trying. These ones?
Yeah. Those are.
That's a good nostalgia. I like that.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
I hope they all do the hand sign.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh my gosh! All right, that's your homework, Wes. You gotta watch it.
All right.
That's what you get for potting with a bunch of old cats.
No, Matthew McConaughey's in that.
Is that the if you build it, they will come?
No, that's Field of
Field of
Dreams.
Dreams.
Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, that's your second homework assignment. Golly.
And then the Nationals, the Braves, Mets, and Phillies, all within 3 games of each other. That division is one to look out for, especially as we get into September. It's really, really going to heat up because the Mets have been hot. Braves are coming back from injury. And the Phillies have honestly surprised me. Devin obviously knows more about it, and he can break it down more. But in the Central, the Reds were 5 games back from the Brewers. But we've still got 10 more games with the Pirates, and the Pirates are garbage. So I think we can catch them.
Fun fact, I used to work for a Milwaukee affiliate in the Mudcats. Yep, I used to work for them.
Shout out to the Mudcats. Did you like working for them?
I was just a janitor, so it wasn't too bad. You got to watch the games for free, so that was fun because I can't sit and watch baseball on TV, but I would actually find myself like, man, I'm gonna actually go watch the game today because it was just enjoyable to sit and watch.
It's different when you're there.
Yeah.
It's a lot different.
And it was cool to I got a few autographs from different guys and stuff in a little notebook. Just it was cool stuff like that. Made some new friends, but the job itself wasn't anything to honk a horn at.
We all got to start somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Whether that's cleaning bathrooms or no.
And then the West, the Giants, Dodgers, Padres, and the Rockies. The Rockies are 20 games back, but there's a lot of talent in that roster. We've talked about it before. But really, the Padres, Dodgers, and Giants, those 3 teams are stacked. And I would be surprised if 2 of those don't make it to the playoffs. I'd be shocked. But we'll see.
Colorado will be high in just about every other division.
I mean, honestly, 38-21. And they would take the Central Division. They would take the Phillies Division or the East Division.
At least be middle of the pack in most.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they would run away with it. But they're 20 games back in a talented
that's crazy.
pool that they're in. That's it for baseball. That's it for the roundup. Matt, we've got to talk about Premier. It's starting up this week. And you got a little prediction for us, so lay it on us.
Yeah, perfect. The Premier League is starting up this week. Crazy how the season's already coming around again. So this time Friday, it's by Friday, it's Brentford are playing Arsenal at Brentford. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a rundown of my prediction for every single position in the Premier League. Feel free to butt in. But, we'll see. So we'll work from last to first, building up the suspense. So last place, 20th, going down, Norwich City. The Canaries lost their key player in Emi Bordina to Aston Villa. He was like their main person to create goals and assist players. Also, Norwich defensively are really bad. Can't score goals, can't defend. That only means one thing: relegation. 19th, Crystal Palace. Patrick Vieira is such an inexperienced manager. You might as well give him a job to Ted Lasso. Like he's only had 4 years of like actual experience of managing, and like 2 of those was at Nice, and he did a terrible job. He got sacked. And they let 9 players go at the end of the season, all throughout contracts. It was ridiculous. They're trying to transfer like that, transformation of the culture at Palace. It's not going to go well. They'll be relegated. It'll be pretty poor. 18th and the last relegation spot. And I'm sorry, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really sorry, Tim. But I think Watford are going to get relegated.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
They just haven't signed anyone. They just haven't signed any players of noteworthy. Yeah, they've got some good players, but they were good players in the Championship, the league they were in last year. And Watford are like famous for sacking managers, right? And they're going to do it. They'll sack the manager, and if they bring in a new manager, will they actually keep him up? Who knows? But I'm sorry, Tim. I think Watford are going to get relegated, but it'll be close. It'll be tight.
Wow.
There are so many teams, at least 6 teams that could get relegated this season. So this will almost certainly be wrong, but yeah, it could get very tight.
Wow. Way to just roll on your back and show your belly. Like that was just, you quit. You just quit on me.
Well, but I'm not a Watford fan, so I can quit them quite easily. So I just don't think they've got it. I mean, it'll be tight. It'll be super close. It'll go down to the wire, especially with 17th place, Southampton. Southampton are used to like qualify European football, and those days like long gone. They used to have some very good players, and they just had a super striker called Danny Ings just leave the club to Aston Villa on a free, and they're set to sign Adam Armstrong from Blackburn, who's a good player, but he might take some time to get used to the Premier League and get running up. They're going to struggle. They'll finish 17th. It'll be tight with them and Watford and the other teams, at the bottom. 16th, Brentford. The Bees' hopes will literally all rely on Ivan Toney, superstar striker, amazing penalty taker. Should have taken a penalty for England if he was in the squad. But if he's doing well and if he's scoring loads of goals, Brentford will be fine. If he has a long-term injury, Brentford will actually probably go down and Watford will stay up. That's what I'm sort of oohing and ahhing about. Moving on to the 15th, Brighton Hove Albion. Seagulls lost their main defender and Ben White going to Aston Villa. Graham Potter actually is going to try and make some momentum because he's been there for a few years now and they've just finished 16th and 16th. It's okay, you're supposed to be a good manager, but where's the progression? You want to see progression every year. It's like the Browns finishing 3rd every year. It's you want to see the progression at some point. 14th, Burnley. Sean Dyche's men are not good enough to finish the top half of the league. They're also not shit enough to go down. There'll be defensive solidity. There's such a boring team to watch. Burnley. They play they play super defensive football and they're hard to beat. Boring team. 13th, Newcastle. As we speak, the Geordies actually haven't signed a single player in this summer transfer window, which is ridiculous. They have unsettling times in the boardroom. Loads of fans hate their manager, Steve Bruce. I think they've got a stronger squad despite not signing anybody. But they'll finish 13th. They'll be all right. 12th, West Ham. The Hammers had their best season last year, finishing 6th. Yeah, finishing 6th. Just outside, I don't know, they finished 8th at the end, sorry. They just outside the European spots, It looked like they would get Champions League, but they didn't in the end. They had a bit of a downward trend towards the end of the season. I think this is going to sort of continue. People found out how to play against them, and that's not going to change. They've only could play one way. West Ham, 12th, pretty dismal, especially after last season. 11th, Wolves. So there's a new manager in charge of Wolverhampton Wanderers, and his name is Bruno Lage. I have no idea if I pronounced his name correctly, but he won the Portuguese league with Benfica last year, and they've signed loads of players for a lot of money who I've never heard of, and they're all sort of wonder kids. They'll play attacking and stylish and sexy football, but defensively they're going to be terrible. So they'll beat up on the shit teams, and they'll get the shit beaten out of them against the good teams, you know, and they might beat a big team now and again. So they're going to finish 11th. That's what I'm saying. 10th, Aston Villa. So fans and Super Jack were brought to tears when Jack himself left Villa Park to join Man City. Manchester City paid £100 million for Aston Villa to join Man City, which is a ridiculous amount. That must be about $130 million, I think, off the top of my head. But yeah, that's a lot of money just to pay for a player to play for you, let alone his contract. But from that, all that £100 million, Villa have signed some very good players, which might take them a little bit of time to mould together and play well together, you know. Expect a poor start, but a really good finish from Aston Villa. They'll be finishing 10th. 9th, Everton. The Toffees, they seem to be a club without direction. Like, they've been dying, like crying out for years that they want to get European football and Champions League football, but they've always failed to do so. They have star-signed players like James Rodriguez and Calvert-Lewin, but they haven't signed any big players in this transfer window. They've got a new manager in Rafa Benitez, but Everton will always continue to stay in the shadow of their biggest city rival, Liverpool. 8th, and this is probably my biggest prediction so far, Arsenal will miss out on European football again. And I'm saying it now, Mikel Arteta will be sacked. Arsenal fans are never really happy. I think they want him to go. They kid is signing Ben White to shore up the defence. Whether he'll be that good for Arsenal is another thing. Their lack of ability to win games away from home will always hamper Arsenal. They're pretty terrible going away. They will struggle. I don't think they'll get European football. Arteta gets sacked. 7th, Leeds. This is probably another big, bold claim as well, because Leeds have made some good signings, but they've also a lot of players go. They're on an upward. They're a club that's got such a great upward trend. You know, ever since for the last so many years, 5 seasons, they've just been going up and up and up. And like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're competing for the Champions League and then a title within 5 to 10 years. Leeds are a great club. They're going to keep moving forwards. They'll finish 7th, get European football, and they'll do well. 6th, Tottenham Hotspur. Now, this could literally all change if or when Harry Kane leaves Spurs to join Manchester City. Harry Kane sort of refused to train for 2 days, a bit like some of the NFL players trying to refuse to train and get a leave out. He's going to go, probably. We'll see. Spurs have got a new manager, Nuno Santo. He did a good job with Wolves. I expect him to do well at Spurs. 6th position. 5th, last spot outside the Champions League football, and I feel sorry for him. Once again, it's Leicester City. But I think it's time we should actually officially class Leicester City as like one of the big 6 teams in the Premier League. Like, you know, when you think of the big 6, obviously it's City, Arsenal, United, Liverpool, Spurs, and another team I can't think of, but Chelsea. But I think Leicester are up there, and they get rid of Arsenal. Like, Leicester are a probably good side now. Got such a talented roster. Wow. I just said roster rather than squad. Wow, I'm spending too much time with you guys. But yeah, great team. I feel sorry for them because I think they'll finish outside the top 4 again. But great team. Brendan Rodgers, great manager. They'll be all right. Probably will run deep in the FA Cup again. Fourth place, final Champions League spot, Liverpool. And Virgil van Dijk will be a sore eyes for Liverpool fans. He was sorely missed from their last season. However, like Liverpool haven't really added much to their team. They've signed a couple players, none of real noteworthy. Yeah, okay, you really missed Virgil van Dijk last year through injury, but like a centre back can only do so much. I don't know. Klopp could get the sack if they have a bad season, because if they have a bad season, he has nothing to fall back on. He hasn't got that. Oh, I haven't got the injury. Klopp could be a bit of trouble if he has a bad season this year. Third place, Manchester United. I think for the first time in a while that this is like a Manchester United squad that can actually properly challenge Manchester City and challenge for the league. But like, I just don't believe in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's ability as a manager. I just don't think he's good enough to like coach players on a daily routine, and then when it comes to it on the game basis, I don't think he's good enough at all. So that's what I'm saying. Third place. Second place, Chelsea.
Dang it.
Big Chelsea. The signing of big Romelu Lukaku has blown the title race open. This will be a close title race. Last year, the Blues was really struggling to score goals with the striker. Timo Werner really never got going.
The GOAT.
If Lukaku gets moving, if he gets rolling, Chelsea could win the league. Don't get me wrong, but I just think you guessed it. Manchester City are going to do it because if Manchester City has signed Jack Grealish, if they sign Harry Kane as well, like that's outrageous. Like
it's over if they get Kane.
Yeah, that's like dream team levels,
Yeah.
Harry Kane's sublime. They'll be quite simply unstoppable. And they should win the Champions League as well. But
I was scared they were going to get Messi.
Yeah, that's a good point. They could well get Messi, but I believe probably Messi's going to go to PSG.
Yeah, for sure. But I was just worried he was going to come to.
Yeah, and obviously Pep Guardiola's obviously worked with Messi at Barcelona a few years back. So
I think he would have came if Aguero hadn't left. I think he would have came.
100%. And then oh my god, if Messi went to the Premier League, that'd be great. I think that would actually answer a few questions about Messi's ability, because obviously Ronaldo has done it in every league.
Yeah.
Messi's only ever done it in La Liga. It's a bit that when you love playing football when it's nice and sunny. You come up to Stoke on a wet, damp, and cold Tuesday night. You're not going to play your best football. But there we go. There we go. That's my predictions to the Premier League for the season. I'm sure it'll be all completely wrong. We'll see. It's going to be a cracking season. The top four probably could all well challenge for the league. And then there's about 6 or 7 teams that could get relegated. It's going to be quite close this year. Very much looking forward to it. And it all starts this Friday with Brentford versus Arsenal.
Hey, I'm here for it. I'm glad footy's back. American footy and across the pond footy. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. Boys, that's it for sports this week. One hell of a week. I've enjoyed it. If it's too much sports, go ahead, take Pure Spectrum CBD oil. Use our code PUB20, get 20% off. Love them. Go ahead, pop a gummy right now just because they're delicious. I already had mine in the morning, but it's like, okay, look at Wes with the graphic down there. I love it. So use code PUB20, get 20% off. You don't want to miss it. Now, random question. We got one?
Guess
This is the hardest part of the pod.
I got nothing.
Oh, quick question. Maybe one. So Laura Kenny and Jason Kenny have won 12 gold medals in track cycling between them, and they're a married couple. Could you think of a more successful married couple?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mia Hamm and Nomar Garcia Parra.
Just talked about it, yeah. I'm having to look this up.
Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
They broke up though, didn't they? Or are
Yeah,
they
they
together?
broke it up.
I don't know. I don't follow this stuff.
Can't be that successful. They're not together, really.
Oh, I got one.
Go on.
J.J. Watt and Clea Ahoya.
Who's that?
Clea was she is a U.S. women's professional soccer player.
I read that.
And then J.J. Watt being J.J. Watt.
I got one that could be, in Alphonso Davies and Jordan Heidema.
Okay.
You guys
Who the
know
hell are they?
I assume. Davies is one of the best. They're both Canadian, but Davies is one of the best left backs in the world right now in soccer.
Oh, he plays at Bayern Munich. Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she plays as well, doesn't she?
She plays for PSG's women team, and
She
the
does,
women's
yeah.
Canadian team just won gold in the Olympics.
It's a great shout, actually. It's a great shout. It's a great shout, Wes. Mine is the most obvious one. Posh and Beckham.
That's a great one.
What about Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe?
I mean, that's a good one too. I mean, both are faces of their sports. You're absolutely right. I got one. Claudia's gonna be pissed I didn't mention it earlier. Jay-Z, Beyonce.
Oh,
Oh,
not too bad. They did well for themselves, didn't they?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. They had a good career, didn't they?
Oh, see, I was sticking with sports. I wasn't
Tom
thinking
and Giselle?
outside.
Tom and Giselle.
That's another great one.
Or PK and Shakira.
Oh,
Shakira.
that is a powerhouse.
Hey, that's the type of content we're delivering here at the pub. Little
Yeah.
sports, married couples, whatever. We're doing it. Hey, Tim and Carol, another power couple down there.
Tim and Carol.
Nah.
Doctor and doctor.
Nope. Not here. Thinking of someone else.
Oh
Hey.
my gosh.
That's gonna do it for episode 63. As always, be a friend, tell a friend, pour one up, go bet on some sports. Oh crap! The pub
Parlay.
How could I forget my bookie?
Oh no.
All right, boys, let's lay it on it. Pub parlay time.
Oh my god.
Cue that little scrappy. Let's go to work here. So, as always, we're betting $5. Put it all in one parlay. Hopefully, everything hits. We get paid again. Last week fell a little short. This week, we're back on it.
mine was right.
Yeah, yours was right. And you messaged, you're like, oh, maybe this wasn't a good pick, but
Yeah.
it worked out for you.
Final score wise, it wasn't, but
Yeah, a lot of people took the over. I was like, you guys are idiots. But I get it. It's preseason. You just never know.
yeah.
But hindsight, you can always be like, you guys are idiots.
I got my pick.
So these are Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No Thursday BS here.
Okay,
I got my pick.
All right.
as have I.
Friday the 13th. It's not a lucky day, but I'm going to lock this in before Tim takes it. I'm taking the Angels over the Astros.
Wow,
Ooh.
wow. It's not. This parlay's not going to work when Tim takes the Astros, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm taking the Astros over.
Nah, I already locked in my pick, Tim.
Wait, can I not lock in my pick?
No,
I beat you to it.
I'm taking Astros over the Angels on Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
Any reason?
What
For
a
both of you?
nightmare.
That's my team.
Now, I will say that we can't do a parlay. Baseball, it's hard. We have to all kind of agree on the same night.
Oh.
What?
Because they don't produce the odds until the day of. So we can't technically do a parlay with those.
Ooh.
I know. That throws a wrench in your all's plans there.
Well, should we do that on Friday the 13th, or is that a bad day?
I mean, I'm cool with that. Now, if we have
Do
another
it.
sport you want to bet on that doesn't play multiple games in a week, we can.
Tim can't bet on the Angels are going to wax the Astros this weekend.
No.
They absolutely are.
Nope. They're going to take your little Angels with their little new outfits.
I wasn't even trying to troll either. Like, I was just like, I'm going to take the Angels, whoever they play. And I was like, oh, they're playing Tim's Astros. Well, let me lock that pick in.
All right, here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. We will make Fitz's Friday 13th the lock of the day.
Oh.
That's not part of the parlay, though. That's just the lock of the day.
Oh, man.
Okay. Now, we will. If you're doing a baseball game, we will stay with Sunday to give Tim his Astros defeating the Angels on Sunday. So if you're doing a baseball game, it's got to be on a Sunday.
Oh, my gosh. We're going to cater to Tim. Okay.
He's a baby. He's a Josh Allen.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the Josh Allen of the pub. Come on, guys.
All right, I'll pick another baseball game. I just need
you can hop in.
Well, I've got mine. Chelsea to beat Crystal Palace Saturday.
It's not a draw. We're not doing draws.
No draws here. Never bet on a draw.
That's true. And then I figured out the hard way. You don't bet on a money line. Soccer infuriates me, man. But I like it. Chelsea defeats Crystal Palace.
Yes, they should do.
Okay, I think I got a lock.
All right.
On Sunday, I'm going to take the Brewers over the Pirates.
That's a safe bet. The Pirates stink.
Yep, and the Brewers are pretty hot.
You said we can do Friday, right?
Yeah, as long as it's not baseball.
All right, no, mine's not. I got mine locked in.
All right.
The NFL Preseason, Friday night, 7 p.m. The Detroit Lions lose to the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen.
Josh Allen ain't going to play it, isn't he?
Oh, no, but I just thought it was funny.
Man.
Bills beat Lions.
All of our starters are playing.
I'm just not touching preseason. That's just
never bet. Never bet
to pick.
Never bet on preseason. Leicester City should beat Wolverhampton Wanderers. How about that one?
Do you want to do that over Chelsea?
No, I was just suggesting to Wes.
Screw it. Take it.
Full send. I like it. Let's see. Friday 13th. I'm going to go preseason with you, Wes, because I feel like we do good when we pair up here. All right. I got it. We're locking it in. Seattle and Las Vegas have both had drama this offseason. The over is set for 37.5 points. I'm taking the under of 37.5 points. I know we're supposed to bet the over here, but Seahawks, Raiders, there's too much drama. They're not focused on offense. We're going under 37.5.
Yeah. Scared money don't make money.
That's right. But, hey, in this case, we're making some money off it.
That's right.
Hey, that's going to do it for the show. Be a friend, tell a friend, pour one up, go bet on sports, go watch some sports, all that stuff. Have one hell of a weekend. Spread good vibes.
Bye.
Have a wonderful time. See ya.
Did the bet go well? Whoa. Unbelievable. Overlap.